After a long venture through the division, I was finally able to collect all 60 classifieds and 25 exotics that are currently available. I am here today to provide you with a guide that will hopefully help you achieve the same goal in the shortest amount of time possible if you too accept this gear hunt challenge. I wish you the best of luck. We're going to hop right into the tutorial. I'm going to start off with what new players should be collecting, throwing away, and when you should begin the gear hunt challenge. Okay, so if you're new, before you start the gear hunt challenge, what you want to make sure that you accomplish before you start this task is you want to complete every mission in the game. Alright? I would try to go for at least a medium difficulty to make sure that you level up a little faster than the hard difficulty when you can handle it. Weapons that you will not be needing past the level 200. Greens, purples. You can deconstruct, you can sell them for credits, whichever you please. They will have no effect in the end game. Alright, so these are weapons that you don't want to waste filling up your inventory with. The weapons that you do want to collect are exotics, especially if you're after the gear hunt challenge. It don't matter their level, as long as you got one of every exotic, you're on the right track. Same thing goes for classified pieces. Alright, now the thing about classified pieces of low level, you do not want to try to upgrade those with div tech. If you just start in the game, save every piece of your div tech from when you are past 220 and you starting to get gear drops past at least 200 to 220. This way, when you get to the point where you want to optimize your equipment, you won't have to spend as much div tech. Alright, so don't invest div tech at all until you're in game. I will highly recommend waiting until you complete a set before you start to spend the div tech, but this is entirely up to you. Once you have completed these goals, you will be ready to begin the gear hunt challenge. And next, I will show the hot spots of the division and the cold spots of the division, meaning areas that you should hunt for the classified gear sets and exotics, and areas that probably will drop you none. Alright, so that's what's coming up next. We're going to jump right into it. Okay, so you finally leveled up and you're ready to start the gear hunt challenge, and you're wondering where's the very best place to start to collect all of the classifieds and exotics the fastest way possible. So we're going to start off with the hot zones. When you first fire up the game, the very first thing you want to do is hit all 15 of the open world bosses. I'll be posting a link above. You can follow my video, which will give you a good route, show you exactly where every one of them at, or you can also Google the division open world boss map. Alright, and this will also show you where each boss can be found. Alright, so you want to start with them in particular because they only spawn every 4 hours. So if you plan to have a 4-hour session, you might be able to get them at the beginning and the end. Alright, so they out of every weight in the game, they the longest weight, but they do drop classifieds and exotics. Out of my completed collection, I got the majority of them from the open world bosses, so I always highly recommend them. Alright, so now, after you complete the open world bosses, the next place I recommend is over here in DZ06. Okay, this is another hotspot area, and I'm going to show you exactly how that go, and I'll explain a couple more things in the process. Alright, now, in particular, when you go into this dark zone, you want to make sure that you kill the boss, and you want to open the catchy. If you don't have any dark zone keys, you can buy a consumable catchy from a dark zone vendor, and this can give you 0 to 5 keys. Alright, you want to make sure you got the keys when you come in here. This part is not too difficult. You can do it really quickly. This will be your first name boss. This area is not marked as a landmark, and this area has been really good as far as classifieds and exotics. Alright, now I probably won't be able to open this. Not sure I got dark zone keys, but that was the boss, and this is the catchy. Alright, you want to do this. Once you complete this task, you can leave the dark zone. Everything else in the dark zone, if you ain't in a 4-man group, except for contamination events, which is another hot zone. Alright, aside from the contamination events, there's nothing else to do in the dark zone. Going after supply drops is a waste of your time. You know, the majority of everything else is a waste. This is the best area in the dark zone. Alright, so you go in, you go out, and that'll cut it for the Dark Zone part of the tutorial. Alright, so now we don't gotta go back in the Dark Zone. You don't want to lose the stuff you pick up, or it makes it longer before you find it again. Alright, now we're gonna move on to the next time sensitive matter, which is the Westside Pier alerts. Alright, the Westside Pier alerts are the equivalent of the open world bosses, except for the Westside Pier alerts happens every 4 minutes. Alright, so once you finish the open world bosses, you hit DZ06. Now you just want to farm the Westside Pier alerts, which you will just go to these diamond marks and you do each one of the tasks that's required. Alright, and it'll just keep popping up. You just pick the mission, you run to the diamond. Alright, and that's how you will complete a Westside Pier resistance side mission. The fastest way is just to fast travel to an area that's close to the diamond, and then you want to move in and complete the task, and you will get named bosses at these events. Alright, I'll demonstrate that while I explain a couple more things in regards to the underground, which I would consider to be a cold spot. Some people would disagree, but I have not had any good results with the underground. Barely any of my exotics or classifieds came from the underground, except for from the rare hunter drop, as well as the blue painted catchies that you can find while doing underground missions. Okay, so I would avoid the underground due to the fact that Pier 93, the resistance, which is another video, I put the link above. I posted a really good tutorial on how to get that done very easily. 2 catchies by wave 8. We've even got wave 7 using some added methods that I'll be sharing later. But in the meantime, those methods, those 3 routes, are the very best routes to complete your collection the fastest way possible. Alright, every other thing in this game is probability, like the exotic catchies, for example. If you're still looking for an exotic weapon, exotic catchies are perfect. You know, you can do 7 missions once every Friday in order to complete an exotic catchy. You would do the legendary missions, which there are 3, and you would do the heroic incursions, which there are 4. Upon completing each one of those, you will receive an exotic catchy. Alright, so that's another option. That one take a little more time, a little more work. I really would recommend Pier 93 even over that if you're just trying to complete the collection as fast as possible. Okay, so now I'm here at the side mission for the Westside Pier. I'm hoping that they can drop us an exotic or a classified so that y'all can see it in motion. You can do this over and over again. I really like this one. Even versus the world bosses for that reason. World bosses are limited to every 4 hours, where these guys are limited to every 4. Alright, 4 minutes to be exact. So we're gonna kill all them up, and then we'll see if we can get a drop. And then after this, I'm gonna point out a couple more of the other way. Actually, during this, okay, so the weekly catchies. Let's move on to those. The weekly catchies, they require you to complete a list of tactics, and they're not that bad. They will give you pretty decent. They will give you pretty decent drops. It's just the amount of time that it takes. Remember, our mission is to get it as fast as possible. So in order to get it as fast as possible, we want to avoid things that you can do and get nothing. The weekly catchy is unfortunately one of those things. Okay, so again, the ones that I have provided are the very best ones to do and get this finished in a timely fashion. Oh, well, I guess I won't be able to show you the result that time, but there's the result, a dead body on the field. But it's not that difficult. You should easily be able to accomplish the Westside Pier missions. I'm kind of just talking and messing up. But yeah, so that pretty much covers it. So if you're able to complete your collection, you know, let us know in the comments. We love to hear it. Again, your 4 incursions. Alright, these are the 4 you can do for the exotic catchies by changing your difficulty setting here to heroic for the incursions. And then you got your 3 missions. 1, which is Warren Gate Power Plant, the Napalm Production Site, and Times Square Power Relay, which you can set these to legendary, and this will also provide you with 1 exotic. Alright, so with that being said, One more thing to keep in mind is when you collect on Phoenix credits, make sure you head over to your vendor, as I've shown in another video. Buy yourself some sealed gear catchies with those extra Phoenix credits, and this will also give you an opportunity at a exotic or classified weapon. From what I've seen, every 20 to 25 catchies purchased. So there it is. Those are my best methods. This does include the house, the urban MDR. This includes every gun that everybody been looking for. So I hope that I covered pretty much everything I was looking for, and I catch you all on the next one.